I am about to install the Everbilt shower system to replace a plastic tray that I used to have here in this spot right here, which kept on cracking on me. So I figured it was time to pull it out. And so I had to remove the shower doors all around, which was actually supported by this shower tray. And now I'm going to install these foam basic support pieces, basically, that you could tile on top of and get a nice tiled look, hopefully. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, so one thing that's really important, make sure that your base is level. That way your water runs the correct direction when you put your base on. So the base of the base should be level. And then another thing I did was I added a riser to the piece of pipe that's under there temporarily, just so I could get a good measurement. So I'm just taking a square, measuring off the edge, and then taking that square and picking up the edge of this pipe. Right here I'm reading 5 1/8. The OD of this pipe is 2 3/8. Half of that is 1 3/16. So add 1 3/16 to this dimension and you get the center line of this pipe in this axis. Go ahead and repeat that in the other axis. So let it kind of sit where it's going to sit. And then I got another measurement, 15 3/8. Add 1 3/16 to that, and you get your center line in the other axis. Hopefully from that I can cut from the edge, from the center, starting from the center to one edge, starting from the center to the other edge, and then take that dimension and cut all 4 edges so in the right place. That's the hope. Okay, so here is the shower pan, and now it's time to mark out where exactly the line should be to cut, at least in relation to the center drain hole, or the center of the drain hole is what I meant. It just so happens this little plastic piece was in the box. I'm going to use it to kind of identify where the center line is, more or less, which I'm not sure exactly if that was meant for it. That's what it was meant for, but it works. Okay, so this is lined up. You know, all this is a guide, and I'm just kind of going up 6 1/8, and then that puts me, that makes sure that this is parallel to the edge. So I will mark that out. That's going to be one edge. Okay, and then we'll do the other side, the other axis. The center line of this is at 18 inches from the edge. So what I am going to do, distance from here to the line should be 15 5/8. And so that ended up at 2 3/8 is the difference. So at 2 3/8, I can go ahead and kind of use this as a guide to just kind of line things up and make my line. And then this line should be relatively parallel with the edge somewhat at the right spot. So here we go. There we go. There's my other line. This is kind of where the engineer square comes in handy, because you can set it right where the line is, clamp it down, get your straight edge lined up. Okay, it's lined up here, no problem. Get it on the other side. Okay, I think we're good. I should extend this to the end just to make it Easy, okay. So I will go outside and make these cuts on circular saw. Probably the table saw, I imagine. We'll figure it out. Okay, I went ahead and filled this whole cavity with leveling compound rather than just being content with the cement board that was there. I took out the cement board, wasn't happy with its flatness after measuring it a little bit. So I just felt maybe a little more comfortable totally leveling this thing out with this leveling compound that I actually already had. So part of the curbing is actually going to sit right on top of that tile, which I kind of grinded down a little bit. I might grind it just to make it match with the leveling compound once it's dry a little bit better, but it's pretty good right now. So everything's going to be super flat, which is important for your base. And might be overkill, but I already had this stuff. So I also had to dam that hole for the pipe with, actually did it with Gorilla Tape. So there we are. All right, skipping a couple steps. I went ahead and cut the drain pipe using this tool, basically a rotary type cutter that you can get it from the inside, go all the way around. I went ahead and did that to a depth of exactly 2 inches for the directions from this surface. I was able to gauge it with this. So once I made that cut, there is a coupling that comes with this kit, and you're able to push it right on there and it stays, locks in, and then this fitting goes into the coupling. So that's ready for accepting the shower pan, which has a corresponding fitting to go right on top of this. Get the mortar out, then set. But it said paste-like consistency. This isn't a normal thing for me. Okay. Yeah. Now it's time to put a layer on the shower pan. Great, I got it dirty. All right, keep going. All right. Okay, time to set this down. Here we go. Goes right into that hole. Hopefully. There we go. All right, presses right in. Okay, and this should sit right in, and just kind of get all the air bubbles out. This thin set shouldn't be so wobbly. According to the other videos I've seen. But, well, this is not the end of the world. On the floor. All right, here we go. Throw this on there. Okay. The fuck? Something wrong here. Something wrong. Oh, okay. I know what's wrong. I had this little extra piece that I had to throw on there because I measured wrong. Let's do that. And that into everything. Coat everything. All right. So now I'm going to fit this on the end. Damn it, this is the right direction. Is that right? Or is it the other way? Is it like that? Damn it. Or is it like this? That looks better. That's better. Well, it sticks really well. So there's that. I mean, I think it's going to work fine. Okay. So we'll do the bottom. Okay. Throw that down. Oh, shoot. I forgot to do that. The end. Can I do that still? There we go. Throw that in. Throw that in. Both sides. There we go. Boom. All right, just kind of stepping on the curb to get it set. And it should slope inward so the water runs in, and that's what it's doing. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right, now time for cleanup. I got a lot of cleanup. Tying these two cement boards together with the tape. Okay. See. Mess, mess, mess. I'm gonna have to do some massive cleanup after this. All right. Anyway, at least the back surface is flat for tiling all the way down now. Here we go. Something like that. Let's see if I can smooth it out. All right. Went ahead and laid some weights on this corner because it was slightly low. Even though it was leveled with a self-leveler, you know, it was just slightly a low spot for whatever reason compared to the rest. And it would actually move. Everything else is just solid. It does not move at all. And, you know, and we're talking like maybe 1/8 of an inch, 1/16 of an inch difference. Who knows? Something very small, but just enough that it moves. So I'm weighing it down. But the rest is totally rock solid. It's not moving. And so I think we're good. This corner was some slight motion, so I put a weight there, but I think I'm gonna let it dry now. And my corner pieces are not here yet. They're coming in the mail. They're coming in via Amazon, so I can't install those yet. There's special waterproofing corner pieces. So I'll just let this dry and then install those when they get here. Okay, so I at least got this first corner. I will do the outside one, I guess. Just gonna stick it on there. Yeah, that works. Just kind of get it down there. Goes on there pretty good. Okay, put that down in there. The inside corner should go in first, huh? Let's do that. Now that I'm looking at it, there we go. That seems more logical. Okay, getting the hang of it. Putting this one in the corner. This one Okay, it seems like if I push it on with my fingers instead of like scraping with the putty knife, it seems to sit better. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if maybe the putty knife kind of stretched it out a little bit and so it made wrinkles in it. All right, and then the outside corner goes right there. Okay, there we go. So trying to fit it with your fingers seems to work better. So trying to scrape it. Not bad. Okay. Seems to be good. All right, so that corner is sealed. Here we go. Get a little more over here. A little short over here. Dang it. Okay. Let's see. Seems to stick pretty good. All right, this time I want the long side to be on the bottom for various reasons. Of course, well, the one being there's not a lot of room on the top, but another reason is the fact that I have that seam in the middle there. Those two pieces. There we go. That's not bad. Okay. Seems to fit. It seems to go really well. I'm gonna try and get this one high, just like that other one. And I overdid it on the bottom. All right, here's the final result. All taped up, corners sealed. Ready for tile once it's dry. All right, to be thorough, I added red guard to the mortar that was behind the strip right there. Just because theoretically seems like that could be a way for water to get behind that strip. So now it's going to be ready for tile as soon as that's dry. Okay, that's a wrap on this shower pan install along with the curbing. I'm really happy how it came out. It's all waterproofed in all the seams. I put a little extra red guard just to be safe. And so it's all ready for tile. The only thing I'm waiting on really is the drain. There's a screw-in drain that comes specifically with this system, and it takes forever to come in from Home Depot, but once that gets in, we'll do the tiling.